Hello there. Here is some of the phrases you can use when you want to set a boundary to some people's behavior. In order to enjoy your life to the full, you need to know how to stop people from crossing the boundaries and make you unhappy. So there are certain things which are not acceptable, certain topics which are not acceptable. You don't want to discuss either because of your own personal reasons. So you can say this: I am not willing to continue on this topic. We can discuss something else, or I'll leave. I don't want to discuss that at all. Please stop it. This is how you tell somebody to respect your values. For example, you are married and someone is trying to really seduce you into cheating on your partner. So you need to know how to stop that person by saying, well, I'm not willing to continue in this topic. Please stop it. Be firm, be strong enough to make the person know that you are serious. And someone might trying to say things to you after you say something, or after you've done something. Someone might say something negative about your experience. So you need to remember to say, well, my experience is my own. I give no room to anyone to determine it for me. If you can't accept my experience, this conversation is unnecessary and it is over. Yes, you might be explaining something and somebody might try to ridicule you or say negative things about your experience. This is how you need to respond. Say, well, this is my own experience, and your opinion is of no value, it's of zero value. Someone might respond to you negatively as well, and this might really upset you somehow. So what you need to say, well, that is not an acceptable response to my experience. It is not acceptable response. Someone might try to belittle you, to despise you, to look down on you. You need to know how to handle that appropriately. And sometimes you don't have to explain everything to someone. You need to know that. Someone might try to really push you, to try to drive you to explain things. Well, says, well, I don't need to explain this. Leave it alone. It's my own experience. I don't have to explain it. I think I'm capable of making my own decisions. See, so you need to remember how to be strong and be able to tell people in order to know their limit. They should not cross certain limits in your life. And someone might say something to you immediately and calmly. You can say, do you think this is an appropriate thing to say in this juncture? Is this the right thing to say right now? You need to really be able to call people out in the way they speak to you, or they speak about other people, about certain things which are of value to you. And you can say something like this: that is an acceptable way to speak to me. I don't want you to speak to me like that. You know, some people might speak to you in a very, like you are a little boy or a little girl. They speak to you in a despising way. You need to remember to say, well, I don't accept you speaking to me like that. I'm not willing to be spoken that way at all. So you need to help people see. They need to show respect to you in a way that you really feel comfortable in that relationship, because you are an individual with your own values and feelings, and it is not appropriate for someone to treat you less than what you really deserve. And sometimes in a conversation you don't feel respected. When you don't feel respected, you need to say, well, my bro, my friend, I'm not feeling respected in this conversation. I don't feel valued in this space. I'm sorry, we can't continue this conversation. You show that you've got authority. You show that you know yourself and you know what you want, and you cannot accept or tolerate anything short of what you really consider is of value to you. Well, sometimes the conversation might become so noisy, so loud, and you feel, well, I can't continue in this kind of conversation so loud. Don't yell at me. People are yelling at you. Some people are talking loudly to you in a negative way. That's something you need to take control and say, well, this has become a hostile environment, and I'm not able to tolerate that. It is not time for me to listen to this. It is time for me to leave. This is how you show that you are in control of your own life. And sometimes a discussion might come about either in your working place or in any area. You need to always remember to be able to say, well, I don't want to discuss this. I don't want to discuss this, or I don't want to be involved in this. And I'm not willing to give my personal details because they are of great value to me. Let's talk about something else. This is very important. Sometimes you just need to refuse in a very, very strong way. Say, I would rather not say anything about this. I won't contribute to this discussion. Maybe they've been talking about somebody you know. They've been talking about someone you know, somebody you really value, and you just say, well, I'm sorry, I don't want to share anything about this person in this conversation. I don't need to answer anything you ask me about this person. This shows how much strong you are in love, and you can leave it at that. This is how you can really be able to set boundaries so that people might be able to know your stand. People need to know what you value, what you hold dear. Then God bless you.